Okay, today we're going to be replacing a 2003 Toyota 4Runner battery. You can see this one's pretty corroded, and it's basically got all its life used up. So what we're going to be doing is removing the safety strap that kind of goes across the battery right here, and then we're also going to be removing the battery terminals to pull the battery up and out. Now again, we're going to be taking this into our local battery shop to get replaced. We're going to get a little bit of a rebate for sending in the core of the old one here. So first things first, what you need to do is remove this little safety bar that goes across. The only tools you're really going to need for this are a number 10 wrench, and then I'll also show you some anti-corrosion spray and things like that you're going to need for the new battery once you place that inside. So basically the battery is held in here by these two little bars and then this rubber strap, or you may have a metal strap that goes across the battery to kind of hold it in. Again, you can see down in there the bar is actually attached to a little, it's inserted into a little hole down there, and I have this loose so it just popped right out. But it hooks on, you can see that hook on that end, hooks into that little slot underneath the battery, runs up here. And so all you need to do, and I've already loosened this up, is loosen this butterfly nut and then come over here and loosen this one on the other side to make sure that you can pull up this little safety bar thing. So let me, I'm going to go ahead and just pull this off. And you have to be careful because that bar will slip out. And here's my butterfly nut. I'm just going to hold that over there, and I'm going to gently lift this up. And if that bar falls, you're okay, because again, you can see I'm just going to pull the entire assembly out there, and that's that hook that hooks in underneath. So I'm just going to set that off to the side as well. Now that we have our rubber safety strap, I'm actually not going to remove this. You can see it's also held into another slot that's on the other side down there. I'm not going to remove that just to make things a little bit easier on us. I'm just going to stick this over to the side over there. All right, now that we have the safety strap off, we're just going to basically remove our battery terminals from each side. And again, you're going to need that number 10 wrench here. And basically there's two screws. There's one right here, and there's one right here on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen up those and remove them, and basically take a couple minutes here, and then we'll go ahead and lift the battery out. And these don't have to be loosened all the way. You don't have to actually take the nut off. You just need to loosen it up enough so that these can slip right off the terminal there. Again, you can see how dirty and nasty that battery is. All right, we're going to come over here and do the same thing on this side here. Okay, so now we have the terminals removed. Basically, this thing just pulls right on out. Now again, be careful of your back and things. This battery is nice and hefty. Woo! We'll set her down right there. So there we go. That's how you remove it. We're going to go get a new one, and I'll show you how to put the other one back in. Okay, here's our new battery. It's the Max EverStart 24F. It's got 750 cold cranking amps, and yeah, this is about $100. I also got some battery corrosion preventative treatment kit. It's got these O-rings that go up over the terminals, as well as this spray for the anti-corrosion. Again, this is the right battery for the Toyota 4Runner 2003 through 2009. I've got a V8, so I went ahead and got something with a lot more cold cranking amps. Again, the 24F is the main battery model number you're going to be looking for. Those of you with the V6 model may be able to get away with something a little bit lower. But that's the battery that we're going with, as well as a corrosion kit. I'll put some links in the description box below so you can find these like on Amazon.com. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is clean up these terminals. You can see they've got a lot of corrosion on them, and basically you're going to use one of these little tools. Again, I'll put a link in the description box below so you can purchase on Amazon if you'd like. But these are kind of multi-tools. Again, this is actually meant to go down on the terminal of the battery to scrape off corrosion. But if you pull it apart, you actually get this cool little brush tool that is designed to go in the middle of these guys. So I'm just going to crank this around a little bit, get all that nasty corrosion out. You can see it just dropping around. And go around the sides a little bit. And you can see that's already polishing up much, much nicer. So I'm going to finish cleaning this, clean up this guy a little bit too, and then we'll put our battery in. Okay, so we're ready to put the battery in. Again, what I'm going to do on this side is just make sure this little hook is in and underneath. If you can get that to stay as best as possible. And then we're going to lift up the battery. You're going to be very careful. These things are really heavy if you have a bad back or anything like that. Need some support, and we'll kind of slide it into place. And that actually fits really nice if you have these little red protector cap on the positive side. I'm just going to pull that tab up and pull that off and expose the terminals. So again, we've got our negative and our positive that are going to go on just like that. But before we do put those on and tighten them down, we're going to do a couple things. First, we're going to need to put the safety bracket into place. Now again, I'm going to make sure that on the back side here, that the handle's locked into place down on the lower end. And we're just going to swing this guy around. And we're going to feed it through, right through the middle. And then we're going to make sure we lock it into place on the front side. So I have my little bar that we took out earlier. Again, what I'm going to do, there's a hole right down there in the bottom where we took it out from before. I'm going to loop it in there and hook it on. And then we're going to feed it up through the other side of the bracket. And once that's up, I'm going to get my butterfly nut, and we're going to tighten that down. Okay, here's our butterfly nut. It's going to feed that on to the top post. And you guys may have a different bracket holding this down. Basically, the concept kind of works the same. There should be a bar that goes down, attaches to the bottom there with some sort of locking mechanism up top. I'm going to make sure both of those are tight. Okay, that's nice and snug now. Again, it doesn't need to be too tight. It's mostly just to prevent the battery from moving around with accidental large bumps. Okay, the one last thing we need to do before connecting is add our adhesive or our anti-corrosion spray on top of the terminals and within the little brackets here. So let's do that right now. Okay, so again, this is the type of anti-corrosion spray that I'm going to be using, as well as the terminal guards. Those are really nice to have. I'll put a link where you can purchase these on Amazon in the description box below. We've got our spray, and we also have our anti-corrosion pads. So I'm going to go ahead and put these pads on first. I'm just going to stick them around the terminals there to help with the anti-corrosion. And then we're going to go ahead and spray everything down with a couple little bursts, just like that. Now again, you can add this every once in a while, maybe every month or a couple months or so, just to kind of keep that corrosion from building up. So now that we have everything on, you can actually stick the terminals back on, and we're going to tighten them down with our number 10 wrench. Okay, we have everything on, everything's in place. The last thing to do now is to give it a turnover and make sure we're able to fire up the engine. It's going to turn her over here. There you go. Looks like we are firing good. So there you go, folks. That's how you change out a battery. Stay tuned. We've got more 4Runner tips and tricks and fixes coming up soon. Hit that subscribe button. Talk to you guys later.